Welcome, everyone. We're back with the second episode in the new season of The High Performing Woman. And in this talk show, I love to highlight amazing women doing amazing things in their respective industries. And I personally have a fondness for people that are doing amazing things in longevity and health spanning. And with that, I'd like to introduce the topic for today, which is nutritional genomics, the future of wellness. Now, this is something that I've had a lot of experience with. I had a history of breast cancer. And one of the ways that I think I really leveled up my health is with the use of precision nutrition. Now, I'd like to introduce the expert on this, Kim Ressler, the CEO of SNP Nutrigenomics. Welcome, Kim. I'm so thrilled to have you here today.
Hi, Susan. Thank you. I'm so delighted to be here today with you. It's great to see you.
Yeah. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to jump straight in, and I'd love for you to just inform our audience, because not everybody is aware of this. Like, what is nutritional genomics? And I think you also have a personal story here. Why are you so passionate about it?
Absolutely. Thank you, Susan. So, nutritional genomics is the study of understanding your genetic makeup, your blueprint, and nutrition. In other words, in what format may you need something, or what nutrients do you need? We've got genetics that. Ooh, I got some feedback there, Susan. Genetics that are actionable, that we literally can impact. So it's the study. It's the study of your genes and the nutrition they need to function optimally. And yeah, the
And,
reason
and I think you have a little bit of a background in terms of how this is specifically. It helped you? Would you mind sharing that?
Absolutely. So I was that individual that 11 years I was looking for answers. I just didn't feel good. My energy was just tanked constantly. My sleep, I would wake up in the middle of the night with, I just could not go back to sleep. My digestion, then the bloating. And then it was just like compounding issues where I was seeing everybody from allopathic providers, Western medicine, looking for answers. And then I started seeing all types of natural. I went Ayurveda, I went vegan. I tried different things trying to feel better. Ended up, I think at one point, on $400 a month in adrenal gland fatigue supplements.
Wow.
Nothing had the stay power. And a friend told me once, as she said, my son has some behavioral issues, and I refused to put him on medication. And I think it might be one gene. I go, oh my gosh, that's fascinating. You've got to keep me posted. Well, as I watched her over 9 months spend $10,000, I was just like, oh, wow. Okay, I've got to do this. But wow, that's a huge commitment. And they did that for one gene. And so the technology that I work with literally had the ability to map out numerous genes and understanding the nutrition you wanted. So ultimately, my story, unbeknownst to me, I had gone that 11 years, not one, but two autoimmunes. And when I did address my genetics, I live pharmaceutical free and I live feeling amazing. That's what life's about. We all want, I think we get this desperate, and I was desperate. I was looking for answers. I had spent over 11 years so much money trying to find out what was going on and why. And ultimately my genes held the answers to that. So that's,
and so our genes aren't our destiny. I mean, it's the whole field of epigenetics, right? We have these genes, but that doesn't mean they have to express themselves. There's so many things we can do. So what are some of the areas that precision nutrition can impact?
Absolutely. Gut health.
Matter of fact, I think we've got an image here. Maybe you could speak to this.
There we go. I mean, healthy BMI. Right now with all the GLP-1s, we are, people are body mass index. There's genes that dictate your satiety responsiveness.
Like a fat gene.
Yes.
Is that for real?
Yeah, it truly is. And there's specific nutrients that have been scientifically validated to help with that satiety responsiveness. Cardiovascular health, I mean, cardiovascular disease is one of the number one killers of women. Um, Cognitive and brain function, we all want to be sharp. We want to be sharp as long as we can. And there are genes that definitely dictate and that are nutritionally actionable, which is what the nutrigenomics is. But the ways our bodies detox, energy. I'm sure you can see, we already said gut, but immune and inflammatory, methylation. A lot of people are talking
What's
about
methylation?
methylation. Ultimately, in simple terms, is it literally turns on and off everything in your body. It's that aging process. And there's really simple solutions understanding it. And a lot of people have problems with this methylation, but it ultimately can accelerate or your aging process. So taking it down to even more layman's terms, it is that Ferrari that you have, right, Susan? And it needs premium unleaded gasoline and you put diesel fuel into it. What's it do to the engine? It's understanding that our bodies can't convert certain nutrients based on our genetics, and nutrigenomics can come in and support. And mood. Everybody, I mean, over the last few years, I mean, if we could know that we could support ourselves at a cellular level for our mood health, it's just fantastic. And this is, I mean, this is pretty much all of the areas of the body. That's
That's
healthcare.
amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing. So, what questions does nutrigenomics answer? I think that I've heard you speak in the past that it answers like 4 questions,
It
like what we
does.
can do with nutrition and precision nutrition. What can it answer?
So when with what we come in at, we know that supplementation is exactly that. It's a supplement in addition to a healthy diet and lifestyle, right? But nutrigenomics truly answers what you need, why you need it, in what format, because there are nutrients that come in different formats. Some you may not be able to absorb and utilize. Your genes dictate that, but in what dose and with what cofactors. And
Yeah, I had my test done and it was, I need methylated vitamin B. Like folic acid isn't great for me.
correct. But you don't just need the reduced folate. You also need the cofactors of choline and TMG. It's for the best absorption and utilization. So this is what nutrigenomics can ultimately answer. It's all based on science that we know specifically what you need, why you need it, in what format, what dose, with what cofactors. So I guess it actually answers 5 questions.
Right. Like, so when you get, like your company, produces a report, like talk me through the process. Like what would you do to like find out all of this? Like you get,
So many people there's 2 ways that you can get your own, you could unlock your own formula. One, yes, we offer genetic testing, completely HIPAA compliant. We're not here to sell your data. You become a barcode at the lab, but you could test with us. And then what we do is
and
we
how do you
review.
test? Is that a blood test or a
Oh, it's
swab?
a it's a buccal swab inside the cheek. Um,
Right.
and then we test. What we're looking at is we're testing 103 actionable genes. I'm not interested in genes that may tell me where you're from or your propensity to have a unibrow or your eye color per se. I'm interested. I'm interested in genes that science has proven, whether it be nutrition, the nutrigenomic portion, or there's other lifestyle things that we could do. The nutrition is one spoke in the wheel for health span. We want to make it simpler. So you can either do the genetic swab, or if you have tested with another company, we have the capability to do data entry to ultimately reveal what your customized formula would look like.
So when you're talking about how you can determine your unique nutritional code, you're saying that one way is you can like get the test kit, swab, and you'll get a report, or the other way, like people that have done 23andMe, they can look through and like just enter themselves and then create a report that way.
Yes, they can. Yes, they can. And it
Okay,
would
and then like what and what does, I mean, You mentioned earlier about heavy hitting SNPs. Like, what are
Mhm.
SNPs? And what sort of things do they impact? And like, do we get like a list of these in the report, or how does it work?
Absolutely. So, a SNP is a single nucleotide polymorphism. In
Say
other
that
words,
quickly 5 times.
no doubt, right? In other words, these single new, and we look at very specific RS numbers that have the clinical, scientific relevance that they have proven that this nutrition can offset. So ultimately, yes, we are looking at these little. I guess I would call them. I wouldn't call them glitches, but your genes either have the propensity to function optimally or it moderately, or they definitely need help, and we
So
can
you
see
found the nutrition that switches them on or off in a helpful manner.
that is correct. That is correct. And a
Okay.
lot of it's plant-based nutrition. It's just, when I look at it, I, the amount of alpha lipoic acid that I need daily, I'd have to eat, I think it's 12 cups or 16 cups of broccoli a day. I couldn't do that. So, and that's what we can that's what we can see, how much you need and what format to ultimately optimize that gene that has, let's say, those, when you have those markers on it, to optimize it. It's like filling in the gap. It's like filling in the pothole so it's smooth and it has the opportunity to function optimally.
So I mean, when you get this report, like, what is it going to tell you? It's going to tell you you have a propensity to
So
not absorb vitamin D, or like, tell me some of the things that you would learn. It's almost like a horoscope of your genes, like kind of
absolutely.
telling you what your future is. Like, you're going to, if you don't like do something about this, you have a propensity to heart disease, or you have a propensity to obesity, or your immune system, you're not absorbing, like, what are some of the things that you learn? Do you
Well,
learn about coffee?
I think you just said it. You said a lot of it. And it's like this aha moment. And if you think about your family and think about, I mean, when I saw my genetics, it was this aha moment because, my grandparents on both sides have all had different heart conditions, right? Or that was what it was. But this isn't scary. What it is it's saying, hey, you have the propensity to have a problem with homocysteine. And I know exactly what I could come in and help to optimize this. So it's literally the blueprint of you of understanding. I mean, you can look at this and you said a lot of the different areas already. I'm a person that I could go out in the sun every day, and my body, based on what I can see through my genes, cannot take and convert vitamin D so that my body can actually utilize it. I have to supplement for it. Um, just like you were talking methylation, um, uh, specific formats of a reduced folate, that it virtually skips over. So folic acid, which we know is in, it's fortified and everything, I can't convert it. I can't do anything with it. It's also like, you've heard of CoQ10 energy, right?
Yes.
We all need it, but did you know our genes dictate what format we need? Do we need it in ubiquinone? Do we need an ubiquinol? Or do we need a combination of both for the best absorption and utilization on our body? So that's what, but seeing this information on your report, it's kind of like this aha. Oh, when I get sick, I bounce back really quick. Or when I get sick, it's harder for me to bounce back. You can you see this, and we can come in and specifically support these areas.
And you support them when you were saying the you choose like ingredients that have medical research showing that they can epigenetically suppress these tendencies, or so
Or support the gene where that variant is to function optimally. Yes, I know, it's fascinating. There is so much
like,
research.
what are some of these ingredients that are like really amazing?
Oh, there's so many ingredients. Okay, so quatrefolate,
Of in
which
it,
is
like, how much, I mean, how does it, yeah, I mean, so what are some of the cool things that you could put into a supplement? Or like, let me just go back a step. when you get the report, like how are they determining it? Is it from your mother and your father? Like, is this a green, yellow, red system? How is this how
Absolutely. So we all inherit, we inherit from our mother and our father. And we either tell you that, hey, we want this to be simple for the consumer, so that they could read this information. Green, no variant, simple. The gene has the propensity to function optimally. Yellow, one variant from one parent. We don't know if it's mom or dad. We are not going to, get angry at
we don't
them.
know who to blame?
Exactly. And then red would be two variants. So understanding these yellows and reds specifically, there's so even if you're green on it, you need support on it, but you need it in a specific format. So we can see all of this. So as we lay out the report, we lay it out gene by gene, telling you the broad function of the gene, what body system it plays a role, supporting it, and what you can do to support it. And then we lay out the ingredients, because I think the solution that we come up with, we literally have the capability of taking 22 of these they're heavy hitting ones that you saw, all of those body systems that you shared, that impact us in aging. And we can take all of that and we create what we call hope in a bottle.
Like a completely, I think you had a picture here.
Yeah.
I think this is what is code complex?
So code complex is made just for the individual. It is, it's not kept on the shelf. And I think we need to point out that the NIH has said that by the year 2030, the gold standard in healthcare will be personalized. We're here to offer it today. And so we have the capability to look at your genetics and literally map everything and your custom formula on 22 SNPs, equating to nearly 80 ingredients, and dose it right for you. Again, it's made live. It literally even has your own name on the jar, as it has to. My
I love
formula,
it. Hope in a jar.
open a jar. My husband's supplement looks different, smells different, tastes different. His genetics look very different than mine. So yeah,
I just think of all of those things that we just, I think it's more than hope in a jar. I mean, really, the hope in the jar is the stuff you buy off the shelf at Costco,
right,
right?
right. Well, I think you told me once upon a time you did the genetic mapping and the
I
standard.
did genetic mapping like 10 years ago, and I ended up getting like 100 pages of gobbledygook. And I'm like, what am I going to do with this? And I met with a nutrigenomics specialist, and, I was taking like 80 supplements a day. And, that was like my meal. So, how many supplements do you have to take when you have your personalized formula, your code complex?
For me, everybody's different, right? I mean, this is my foundational health. I take my customized, and I take one other thing. That is it.
So how many supplements is the customized? Like
Well,
how
how
many
many
actual
ingredients?
pills?
Oh, for me, we can produce it in either a raw powder format, and it's about 2 heaping teaspoons, or if you take that and put it into veggie caps, I usually take 5 morning and 5 lunch. So that is what I take every
And
day.
that can incorporate up to how many ingredients?
Nearly 80 ingredients. So there's the jar, just so you see the
Great. So
back.
there's the 80 supplements that I was taking, but then I can just take them in 8 pills as opposed to 80
10
pills.
pills, 10 pills.
10 pills, right?
Yep. I know. And it's all into
Um,
one. I mean, it kind of makes you think, it makes you realize, and you're sitting there taking all of these different things. Like, I'm really proud to say we also have no fillers or no excipients. In other words,
what are excipients?
those are the things that they put in there when maybe you need, let's say, so many micrograms of something, but you got a big horse pill. And that horse pill, what's it comprised of? Those are fillers and ingredients that maybe not needed. They're the non-active ingredients.
They're just
So
the things to make it big enough to swallow, or like,
possibly,
yeah.
yes. So we come from this from a very holistic approach to the supplements are whole food based. So we, instead of putting those fillers in, we use things like broccoli powder and other plant-based prebiotics, digestive enzymes. Prebiotics grow the gut bacteria healthy. Digestive enzymes help you absorb better and then flush what you don't. Those are the types of ingredients we put in the base of the product that they're whole foods, and they've got micronutrients in them.
So
So
there is, so it's not synthetic, they're actual whole foods. That makes it more bioavailable. Is that right?
it's not just that, but I mean, if you think about it, if you've got such as like a broccoli powder or something, it's got other properties in it. It's got those micronutrients. It may have some minerals and things like that in it as well, because it is whole food based. But we come to bring it in a whole food based. We do have a couple of white papered, what we call them white papered vitamins, one for stability and definitely for dosing. We want to make sure that based on your genetics, you're getting exactly what you need. But we use all this plant-based nutrition in the product as well.
It's amazing. So, I think you have a special offer for, the watchers of the High Performing Woman talk show. So, can you explain to me how this works? We talked about there were two ways to test before. Can you talk me through this?
Absolutely. I first want to say, I think what's really important about this, Susan, is right now we hear it everywhere about biohacking and health span, and truly, in my opinion, the first step into biohacking yourself is to understand where are your opportunities for improvement, or where do you need to focus, and make it simpler, because we all have the same amount of time every day. We can't do, I mean, I'm sorry, 80 supplements a day. That's crazy that you were doing that. So,
Yeah.
if you've already tested, actually, it's your offer that you are making to your audience, and I'm really excited for that. But we're offering $25 off if you want to get a DNA test kit or do data entry. You can go to
Data entries is if you've already had your genes tested someplace
That
else.
is correct. And on the website, when you go to DNA data entry, we tell you exactly the RS numbers that you need. We're very transparent with that information. And so whether it's Ancestry, 23andMe, even if you've tested somewhere else, as long as you have the RS numbers, we show you the RS numbers that you need. You can do data entry to unlock. And if you do test with us, you do get additional reports. But those are the two options that you get 25 off. But not only
25 off the 297, and then how much is the DNA data entry?
DNA data entry is 119, and you could also have $25 off of that.
Okay, great.
That will unlock, and what you would receive with that is a summary report, a complete code report, which matches the code complex, telling you the what and why, and every single ingredient that will be put in, as well as your own customized formula of what it would look like, your own supplement fact panel.
Right. And then after that, one can choose what they want to do, whether they want
Yeah,
to order the supplement or not.
absolutely.
You know what I love about this is, like you just talked about, we all have so many hours in the day, but epigenetics is like the exercise you take or don't, the amount of sleep you get or don't, the food you put in the fresh air and things. But you know what? This is such an easy thing. Not everybody has, it's something to epigenetically support you. It's easy popping a few pills. It's not always easy to go out there and make these amazing home cooked meals or get all the exercise you want. I know all of those things are important too, but this is like an easy biohack, as you were talking about earlier.
Well, and yeah,
Um,
it is. It's you, Susan. This is made just for you, nobody else. And it's a simple step. And so then if you think about this, when we feel better, we do better. We make better choices, etc. It's just one step in. I mean, me understanding how you were taking 80 supplements a day, is mind-boggling. Like you said, it's that was your food. Um,
Yeah.
I understand, at the time that was what was available, and you did that, and you made that commitment for your health. But I think that some of this, making it personalized up front, knowing exactly what you have to do, and one jar of my
I
foundational.
mean, doctors must love this because so many people, I think, are going to them with their gene reports and saying, like, what do I do? And they're like, I don't know. I mean, the doctors must love this.
They do love it. We've partnered with well over 500 providers in the United States and Canada thus far, that are rolling it out for their patients. Because, and I commonly talk to their patients, and they'll say, I was taking this many hundreds, or this over $1,000 worth of supplements every month, and I need to simplify it. And this is simple. We literally custom compound for an individual for $159 on a subscription basis, which can be edited, modified, and canceled.
I was paying, I think, $800 a month in supplements
Yep.
when I had cancer. Yeah.
Yep. So think about that. I remember, and I said, I take this plus one other thing. I mean, that's the simplicity behind it. And that it's not going to be hundreds and hundreds. Now I could take additional funds and go do other things that might be other biohacking things that I would know that were more expensive that I want to do. So, and I can be compliant.
Right.
I can be compliant on one thing.
So, where do you, I mean, do you service the world or is it just the US or how does it work?
Ah, okay. So, we with the DNA test kits, an individual can actually swab and send their DNA test kit to us if they're in the United States or Canada. We have data entry for the UK, the EU. The individual countries are listed on the website. Australia, there's seven. It's countries that we already know that more than likely they could possibly have their 23andMe results. But can
Right.
you pull that picture back up, because there's something really important we didn't mention. So part of the exclusive offer isn't just to test, but to do a free interactive group DNA report review, which is normally $197. We keep these groups really small. Our scientific advisor and myself host them, and we walk through a
Oh,
full.
that's awesome.
So that is a free value for your audience. Just letting you know. They do need to purchase by November 19th to get that. And then how we usually, those will be, so you would go to snpnutrition.com/Treadgold. You have to be there to use that coupon code of perform. That's your coupon code. And
Okay,
then,
great.
from there, the report reviews will be determined. They're usually between 6 and 8 weeks after somebody has done their swab, to give them the time to get their information back. But the report review it's really great. It kind of just, this is a different way for people to think, and for them to learn about. And we want to give them the opportunity to dive as deep as they want. We do a lot of education, free education, every month. We do 2 calls at minimum for our clients to listen and learn and dive as deep as they want, or as high level as they want.
So I think these are some of the other areas. I mean, what's the actual website if they just wanted to do a little bit more digging?
It's just snpnutrition.com if they want to do
Okay, and then
more
these are the
digging.
other places where you have a lot of education. Where's the best place to go to, like, is it the website or is it, where do you put the most education of your social media?
Well, there's tons of education on the website in general, but we post on LinkedIn. We've got great videos on YouTube. Look up SNP Nutrigenomics. SNP Nutrigenomics is the name of the company, but the website is SNP Nutrition for a purpose. We've got a great blog. There's many things posted on. I would say LinkedIn and YouTube are going to be the best at this point. Facebook and Instagram are more fun. They've got tips, but you're going to find more on LinkedIn and YouTube for sure.
Okay, so I also heard that SNP Nutrigenomics is going to be represented at A4M, like the massive doctors health and longevity and medical conference that takes place in Las Vegas every year. When's that? That's going to be in December, right?
Yeah, December 12th, 13th, 14th. Yes. Yes. And yes, we are unveiling SNP. It's time for the world to see this amazing product. And our scientific advisor, as well as Dr. Bobby Narani, who is a DO and a fellow university professor, will be speaking, talking about the clinical relevance as well as the scientific data behind everything that we're doing.
Oh, that's amazing. I think I'm going to be there. So I'll see you there. Will you guys also have a booth or?
Oh, yes, we will. It's booth 3039 if you are in Las Vegas for A4M. We look forward to seeing you,
Will
answering
you
your
be
questions.
swabbing people there? I mean, can they actually do the test right there?
Yep, they will be able to. That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
And,
Yeah.
and you'll be there yourself as well
I will.
if they want to
I
meet
will
you?
be. I will
Oh,
be.
that's amazing.
Yep.
All right. Well, our time is up, but I just want to thank you and I want to thank our
you.
listeners. And I'd love if you like and subscribe to the High Performing Woman Talk Show. And I look forward to seeing you again soon on our next episode. And thank you, Kim. I really appreciate your time and your wealth of knowledge in
No,
this
thank you.
area.
I thank you. I mean, I think it's people like you that are true biohackers that do so many things to see the value and understanding your own genetics. It's pretty amazing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
See you soon.